When considering the reopening of your health and beauty establishment, there's several things that you need to consider to make sure that you can preserve a clean and safe environment for both your employees and for your customers. One of the things we always like to reinforce is that in the health and beauty industry, you have a truly unique relationship with your customers. The loyalty and the typical communication between the health suppliers and their clients is truly unmatched in the industry. Safety and cleanliness have always been a part of that relationship, but it's kind of become invisible over time. And those cleanliness efforts and sanitary measures that you employ need to be made visible again. You need to always be sure to communicate clearly, and you need to be assured that your safety and comfort are truly important in crafting your reentry and reopening strategy. One of the first things that we recommend is the consideration of adopting appointments. Many salons still cater to walk ins, but as we begin to try to control a steady and reliable flow of customers and revenue, we feel that it is important for you to adopt an appointment platform for your business. Allow customers to make those appointments online. Look at several different options out there. A couple that we saw, one is called Bowtie, and then the payment processor Square also has a Square appointments category that I'll talk about in a moment. But just always remember the goal is to create a steady, safe, and controlled stream of customers. With those appointments, some of the things you might consider as you're selecting a provider is something that allows you to make a clear appointment policy. It allows the process of booking to be very easy and allows you to consider such things as prepayment so that you can assure that missed appointments are still compensation that you can forecast and depend on. Automated text messages and reminders that not only remind your customers about the appointments, but possibly share with them some of the new health and safety policies that you have adopted. You need to think about the entry sequence for your customers. One thing that salons have begun to consider is the idea of having the customers stay in their vehicle until the salon is ready to receive them. That can happen through a simple text notification letting them know that their chair is ready. Minimize places where people can lay things. This is a great transition into all the things we need to think about with our reception area. We need to make sure to wipe down all surfaces. Understand that there is that difference between our soft surfaces and our hard non-porous surfaces. Making sure that you are sanitizing all of those non-porous surfaces and allowing proper contact time to ensure that the disinfecting products actually have the time to do their job. Thoroughly clean your retail product area, including your shelves and displays. Remove any test products that you might have had. And add signage to this area to let clients know that it is cleaned and disinfected daily. This is yet another opportunity for you to introduce your brand with their safety, helping to communicate to them the efforts that you're going through to keep them safe. And consider adding acrylic shields in the reception area to protect your staff and your customers from airborne and water particulates and just minimizing that contact that might go on during typical customer interaction. The other things we need to think about is enhancing air duct cleanings and filters in our air circulation systems. We move now to our styling stations. It's important to properly disinfect those styling stations in between each customer. Many of these are the tactics that have long since been employed by the industry, but these are the kind of things that we need to reintroduce into the process of having the customer know that you're truly cleaning, wiping, and disinfecting in between. We've had some stylists that have decided to adopt processes where you physically see them cleaning things and make it a very conscious process that the customer gets to see. Um, in addition to that, some of the things you need to think about is removing extra seating, um, making sure that you're minimizing contact points in your space. Clean the chair as the customer enters so each customer sees it being cleaned. Think about and develop what makes sense for a mask policy. Is your staff mask? Are you asking customers to wear masks when possible? Um, do you provide for them the masks that simply wrap around the ear, allowing for them to still obviously have access to their hair? All of those are things that you need to consider case by case with state regulation as well as your own personal comfort. Instead of just washing hands before you start, make sure that you make a point to make that process known, whether you're actively drying your hands as the customer enters, or just make the point that that has been done each and every time. And then feel free while you have the customer there to talk a little bit about your cleaning regimen during the service. Use that as an opportunity to inform them of all the tactics that you're using. An important thing for you all to consider as individual business owners is the services that you are going to offer. Are there going to be things that you might consider limiting? How long do certain services take, and how many customers can you have in your business at a time? Do you only offer cuts? Are you offering color? Are you avoiding beards and beard trimming? Most customers are going to be understanding to the policies that you adopt. Many of the professional industry websites are using the phrase that now is a time for maintenance, not makeovers. And then with our payments, we need to also think about policies and adopting technologies that allow for contactless payment. If you are with companies like Square, you can easily get contactless readers, and also explore alternative electronic payment options such as Venmo and Zelle to avoid that contact at your point of sale system. Another thing that you can consider is actually turning off the credit card signature requirement to allow you to remove a contact point in the transaction. And just a summary of some of those things to consider as you move towards reopening and re-inviting your customers into your salon and beauty establishment. Think about adopting appointments. Think about that entry sequence. How will you receive those customers? How will you keep your styling station sanitary? What services are you going to offer, and what services will you limit? And then finally, what payment alternatives might you adopt to be able to limit contact points? Thank you for listening today, and remember to stay safe.